Welcome back. Let's talk about the last 3 weeks and my lack of progress. So, my last post was on April 11th. It is now May 6th. The week of Easter, or the weekend of Easter, my son came down with the flu. And he is generally not that bad when he gets sick, but this time was different. And it was pretty debilitating for him and hard for us to kind of keep up. So being underwater for almost a week, just trying to stay on top of making sure he was as taken care of as he could, was about all I could manage. Unfortunately, I was going through colonoscopy prep during that time. So my immune system was a little bit weakened. And I actually did go through with having my colonoscopy right around the time he was just about starting to get better. Unfortunately, 2 days after my colonoscopy, I tested positive for the flu. And I proceeded to spend the next 4 or 5 days feeling like absolute garbage. So, thinking about it, that's about a little over a week and a half, almost 2 weeks of time where, I was still on TikTok. I was doing a couple of things with the system. When I had concepts, I would work through them. I had some therapy sessions that really helped. But I was really just stacking data. I wasn't logging it. I wasn't doing anything with it in the system. I wasn't actively working on my core working sessions. I wasn't writing. I was just kind of surviving. So that brings us to this past week where my wife came down with the flu. And that just, kind of prolonged this survival mode where I didn't really have time to dedicate to step away and say I'm going to go do work for a couple hours. With the 2 kids and her down, I really just wanted to provide as much care and comfort as I could for everyone, while also, still slightly recovering from everything myself. Like, I'm older now, and it takes a while to feel fully better, regardless of, my symptoms were gone, and I was still exhausted for 2-3 days. So anyway, I wanted to get back on here and pick up because today's my first day where I've been able to dedicate any real time to this. That said, it's 12:51 in the afternoon. I spent 3 hours logging the 20 files that I've generated over the last 3 weeks, making sure everything was tracked the way it should be tracked. I actually finished a therapy session that I had started a few days ago, or about a week ago. And then I also had a full session on something that I wanted to address that I didn't find the time. I was too tired. There was too much going on. And I wanted to make sure that I worked through those things that I was thinking about. So it's actually been such a great day to just feel reset. And I've now put up my Reddit post kind of catching up on, my flu weeks. And this is now the place where I am catching up on YouTube. I'll probably start going back to public content a little bit, but tomorrow I plan to complete my first lesson in 3 weeks. And I feel like if you've been tracking my progress, the consistency isn't there. Like, I keep finding things that are holding me up for weeks at a time, and I need to focus on getting the writing out. So that's my next goal. I spent months really fine-tuning this system, and I love it. And it's an extension of who I am, and it really supports me. But it's at a place where I don't need to do that anymore. And yes, life has gotten in the way. So I'm being compassionate and understanding that I can't really control that. That said, I need to write. So that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, this time, the end of this week. So what's today? Tuesday? Friday, I should have a real update. I should have 2 or 3 sessions under my belt, lessons under my belt. That should be hopefully 4,000 to 6,000 words written. There should be progress. And I'm hopeful for the week to come. So anyway, to anyone who has been following along, I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.